Hi there, welcome to another Team Clueless Battle Report. It's me here today with Nick over there.
Hello!
We are playing with the new Open War deck. It's not that new, but we haven't had a chance to play with it as yet. So we've set up the table with all the terrain. We've gone pretty heavy terrain now. We've decided that in 8th edition you need a bit more line of sight blocking terrain, so I've got some new terrain on the board. So these buildings I've cunningly built, as Nick did years ago with his, buildings that have no line of sight through the bottom. So when you can see our units in there, they won't be able to see through the bottom of them. Same with this one over here. It's all blanked out around the bottom. And I've also found these on eBay, which were super cheap. And so they're nice line of sight blocking. You can stack them however you want. They're all individual little crates. So we've got 2 of those reasonably central on the table. So really cutting down line of sight lines, which should hopefully mean going first, going second is a bit fairer. So that's our table for the day. Our open war deck. So if you don't know about the open war deck, you get to draw various cards out which set up the mission in various different ways for you. So first of all, you draw out a deployment. So I shall go down and show you our deployment. Interesting. So there's loads of different deployments. I think 12 different ones. So you get all the standard book ones plus some more esoteric ones, which this is one of them. Nick is player A, so he is setting up on the far side of the table, over there and over there. And that's it. And I'm setting up in kind of like a wedge coming onto this side of the table, so that's cool. Then our objective for the game is Kingslayer. Each player adds their power rating of any enemy units up as they kill them during the battle. So basically you get kill points equal to the power level of enemy units that you kill, and you get additional power points equal to the same amount, so double, that's a much easier way of saying it, if you slay the Warlord. At the end of the 5th battle round, the player with the highest total wins. So that's good, it gives you a timer as well, nicely done. And then you get a twist. So the twist today, we have orbital debris. At the start of each of our turns, we roll 3 dice each. On a 6, we get to pick an enemy unit to drop some orbital debris on. They suffer D3 mortal wounds. So pretty interesting. Nick and I are fans of a little random element to our game, so we're quite happy with them.
The one thing that you missed off though, we did have a veto each, which you obviously opted to. So when we drew a card, if we thought it favoured more, like the one we drew was favoured to Psychers, and I have a lot of Psychers.
That's it. If you're
card.
playing with this deck, I've read some other people online say this, that give each player a veto as the cards come up. So if a card comes up from the random deck that you think, oh, that really screws over my army, or is super good for your opponent, you use your veto on it. So the card came up that made all psychics more powerful. Nick's playing Grey Knights today. I decided maybe I didn't want that card, so it seemed like a good thing to veto. Speaking of armies, let's see what we've got. Okay, so we're playing 2,000 points today, or 100 power level, because I haven't had time to remake my army. This is a 2,000 point army I'd made up previously, and Nick is playing 100 power level, but I'm pretty certain they work out to be the same. So what have I got in my army? This is a combined Deathguard and Alpha Legion army. So over here is my Deathguard Warlord. He's a Demon Prince. He's got the Deathguard armour relic that gives him a 2+ armour save. And I think I've given him the Warlord trait that means he takes 1 less damage from every attack against him to a minimum of 1. So bolt guns still deal him 1 damage, but say a las cannon will deal him d6 -1 to a minimum of 1. Okay, so he's there. Then we have a big unit of Plague Marines as troops. They've got a Power Fist and a couple of plasma guns. We have a smaller squad of Plague Marines. God, I'm going to get that wrong every time. A couple of Melter Guns and a Plague Sword, and they're riding around in a Rhino with a Combi Bolter. Then I have Typhus as my second HQ. I have a Putrid Blight drone armed with a couple of Plague Spitters, and then I have 2 big mobs of zombies, or whatever they're called now. Can't remember. They're called Poxwalkers. I think I have a squad of 20 and a squad of 10. And that is the Death Guard contingent of my army. Then I have the Alpha Legion contingent, which is the smaller allied detachment, or whatever it's called now, maybe a patrol detachment. I have an Alpha Legion Terminator Lord. He's got a Chain Fist and a Combi Melter. Then I have a big blob there of 13 Khorne Berserkers. They've got a banner, they've got a mix of chain axes and a couple of plasma pistols and some chain swords, and the sergeant has a big demonic power sword. I also have a unit of cultists fulfilling my troops there. They've all got auto guns. In heavy support, I have a unit of Havocs. I believe they're Slaanesh marked, so they can take advantage of the special Slaanesh Fire Twice stratagem. They've all got autocannons. We have some Nurgle marked obliterators there. Then we have a Dreadnought with twin-link las cannon, and even though it looks like it's got a big fist, it's actually got a missile launcher, because I made this up using points, and the missile launcher is cheaper than the fist, and I had to lose points somewhere. So he's got a missile launcher instead. And that is my 2,000 points of Deathguard. Hopefully it comes out to around 100 power level. Let's see what Nick is bringing.
Right, and this is the Grey Knights that I'm bringing. Well, I'm bringing. You've bought the models. I'm just borrowing from you.
Nick is borrowing the Grey Knights today.
I wanted to use a codex. As soon as I play Orcs and Towers and they haven't got a codex yet, I just wanted to try out a codex so we got the extra stratagems and that. But
that's it.
My army consists of Grandmaster Voldus. He's going to be my.
He's down
warlord.
here.
So he gets the extra psychic power. I'm going to have a Grandmaster in a Dread Knight.
Over here.
With a big hammer.
Big hammer. He's got a Psy cannon and a Gatling cannon.
Gatling silencer. We've got 2 Terminator squads. Mine are all coming armed as however they are.
Yeah, so you got
first time we're playing them. So
big mix in there. I just grabbed random models, didn't I? There we go.
Yeah, so I thought, obviously, I'll try out all the different sort of weapons and things. We've got a 5-man strike squad as well.
They're down there. I think they've got a silencer and a hammer and such.
And they get to rock around in a Razorback with twin las cannon.
Apologies for the red. I don't have any Razorbacks for my Grey Knights.
We've got a vulnerable Dreadnought as well with las cannons and that on there.
Down here.
We have got another Dread Knight with a Greatsword, Incinerator, and a Teleporter pack thing as well.
Yep.
And a Land Raider Crusader.
Oh, this is the thing I'm fearing. I'm not certain how I'm taking that bad boy down. I've used Land Raiders before in this edition, and they're pretty beefy. They're as they should be.
It's when I was obviously it's the first time I'm making up with a Grey Knight army or anything, and I like Grey Knights, which is why I chose them over normal Space Marines. It's like, well, I want the Dread Knights and I want a Land Raider. Anything else just goes.
Fill in points. Okay, we'll come back after we have set up. So this is our setup. I have Typhus in the middle here. He's got his zombie horde of 20 around him. Over here there is another zombie thing which I'm using to screen off against deep striking units with smite, so they can't target my Plague Marines who are in the middle there. Got my Hellbrute there. I've got Plague Marines with melter guns in the front Rhino. I've got this dude sitting at the back. Over here we've got the Demon Prince. He's walled off by some cultists as well. And then we have our Havocs there. I have forward deployed my Berserkers, so I get to deploy those just before the first turn. So we need to know who's going first, which we'll do in a moment. And my Chaos Lord for the Alpha Legion and the Obliterators are in Deep Strike. Nick has deployed 3 things on the board. Shockingly, he got +1 to his go first and has the first turn. Unless I seize.
No chance.
So you've got strikes in there?
Yeah, strikes in the Razorback.
Dreadnought and
Terminators in the Land Raider.
Terminators in there, and then you've got most of that over there in Deep Strike.
Yeah, that's in the Razor, that's in the Land Raider,
so
that's in Deep Strike, Voldus in Deep Strike, and both of them are in Deep Strike.
Yeah, seems strong. Nick has discovered the joys of Grey Knight Psychic Powers. He said, I'll just do my couple of psychic units. I informed him every unit's a psychic unit.
I've never had a psychic phase.
So we shall see how he enjoys that. Let's see if he enjoys this. Seize the initiative on a 6.
No.
It's a 2.
I enjoy that quite a lot.
What's happening? I used to be able to seize every time.
It's 8th edition.
It is, yeah. It's changed. Okay, we'll come back after turn 1.
End of Grey Knight's turn 1. Obviously the Khorne Berserkers that came in further back here.
I decided to infiltrate them into their Alpha Legion and thought it would negate Nick's first turn a bit. Basically, I sacrificed them, and that's what happened.
So, Voldus is down beside the Land Raider there. He's barely seeable because he's undercoated black and the Land Raider's black. He came in with the Land Raider here, all psychic powers, all shenanigans, and there was 2 left for me to charge at and just finish off in combat, which I did. The other Grandmaster has come down over here, had some shots off, done a couple of wounds to the Rhino. You've got the other one, the Dread Knight here. They've basically picked off a few zombies really around here.
Yep.
Terminators come down the side here. We did class a psychic smite and managed to do something there, but you managed to deny the witch.
You got a 10, I got a 12.
But I did I have taken out a few zombies around here as well. And
you thinned the zombies quite well, actually.
Yeah, I fired a couple of shots off from the Razorback and the Dreadnought at the Hellbrute in there, but did nothing to him. Thing to note though, there is 1 wound on my Terminator though. I may have missed. I forgot about reading the psychic power properly and cast the Vortex of Doom. The Terminators are a little bit too close. But lucky enough for the D3, I took 1 wound.
Oh, Nick, you didn't mention these.
Oh, yes, our obviously orbital bombardment that we get to roll
Orbital
for.
debris.
Debris, which we the twist, which we get to roll for at the start. So 3d6, 1-6 come up. And you do D3 wounds. I took out 3 havocs before any movement, anything. So
It was not good for me.
yeah, so that was quite interesting. But the bad point was he tried charging the Rhino, 1 inch short. He tried charging the zombies, very short, and the Terminators here tried charging the Blight Drone there, and they were short as well. Which bit of a pain. I would like to have got some more charges in just to try and obviously take out the Rhino or thin the zombies and that, but. Overall, not a bad first turn, really.
No, pretty good.
So if only we're doing first blood, though.
If only we were.
Right, let's see how the Chaos respond.
The end of the Chaos Space Marine Alliance turn 1, and it wasn't the best of turns, to be honest. So what did I do?
Fire that, Grandma.
Down here, this guy moved to a bit further away and did a bit of flamage action, but he decided not to charge in, forcing them to charge me if they want to try and kill me into my flamers. Nick was pretty hot on his saves all turn, let's just be frank. I only did 1 wound with my 2d6 auto hits there. Around here, I decided to park my Rhino in front of this Dread Knight because they don't have jump anymore, so they can't move through my units. So he's going to have to either walk around or assault the Rhino, but the Rhino's now empty, so I don't really care. I got out these Plague Marines with melter guns. These Plague Marines with plasma guns moved up. And all the zombies kind of like moved forwards a bit. I fired my melter guns, my plasma guns. I fired the las cannon and the missile launcher back here. I fired the Obliterators and the Chaos Lord with Combi Melter. They all dropped in behind the Grandmaster. Fired everything at the Grandmaster. 5 wounds. It was pretty shocking. Over half of those came from a single Obliterator hit that got through. So
it was a lot of saves. It wasn't about the misses,
Yeah.
it was a lot of saves.
It was a lot of saves. His 4-up was doing overtime. So then I thought, fuck it, I'll charge in the zombies. Didn't think it was going to go well. And it did go well, weirdly. I did a wound to Nick, reducing his profile slightly. And then Nick managed to kill 1 zombie with his Grandmaster in Dread Knight. Not the best.
One thing you have forgotten was your orbital debris.
Oh yeah, orbital debris killed 1 of those. My psychic phase, due to the fact that Nick gets +1 on his psychic casting and dispels, being a Grey Knight attachment, he dispelled all but 1 of my powers. I managed to get through a massive smite at this guy. I rolled an 11, so it was dealing D6 wounds. This is a vehicle in the new rule, so Nick used the Grey Knight stratagem that lets him roll 3 dice to dispel with one of his vehicles. I managed to dispel it with that. The only power I actually got through was a smite on this Dread Knight, which did it. A wound, maybe 2.
2.
So that's okay. I expect him to be dispelling me quite a lot. My Demon Prince Warlord is a bit out of the action because he was so far away, so he has chipped forwards and hopefully will be able to get to some combat next turn. Let's find out.
End of Grey Knight's turn 2. And as good as the first turn was, this turn was poor. Very, very poor. Let's start off over here. So the Razorback spouted out its troops and they've run up. They managed to cast their psychic power on them. So the Plague Marines that were hiding behind the crates here, I managed to be able to shoot through cover basically without leaving line of sight. So I shot at
1.
Killed 1 and charged into the Rhino there. Did nothing to the Rhino.
Down on the floor.
The Terminators here, obviously shot at. We've lost 1 more model and we did a couple of wounds for Smite on that basically. But poor in combat, did nothing in combat. The Dreadnought has basically moved around. He fired, he did 3 hull points to the Rhino, so that's reduced down to 3. Terminators back here, very, very poor. They moved up 5 just to try and move a bit, but they've got the teleporting psychic power, which I failed to cast. So
that was really bad for you.
That was the idea of them being in the Land Raider. Okay, they got out for the Corn Berserkers. I was hoping to teleport them back into combat this turn. Failed. The Land Raider here fired Assault Cannon, Hurricane Bolters at the zombies and Multi-Melter at the Obliterators. Did nothing. Even psychic powers, even from him there, he did a very good. He did the Purge Soul against the zombies and killed like 5 zombies in that. So that was a very good against the zombies. Grandmaster just fell back, but as you see, the zombies there. one left. I managed to reduce them down to just one.
Operation Hide My Zombie.
They got to the combat phase, and the Dread Knight was on top of the crate, and it was a case of, do I go just to kill the one zombie for powers? But I went into the Plague Marines there, and he left one, but he died through leadership and that. Just so, obviously, it was worth more points for me, and worthwhile in the end. And that's basically it. It's just about Psychic phase. Did 2 wounds to my Grandmaster from Perils, and 2 wounds to this Dread Knight from the Perils.
And you didn't kill anything with them.
And that was just casting Smite to kill a zombie, and they made their little save that they get.
Disgustingly resilient.
So I didn't even kill a zombie.
That was very funny.
Other than that, I say I've got more zombies, Plague Marines, Typhus bearing down on this Dread Knight now.
But you are 19-0 up on kill points.
Yeah, because it obviously goes on the power points for.
Yeah, and you've killed
units.
the Berserkers and some Plague Marines. So I need to get killing because I had none.
But you could make that up from these 2 Dread Knights.
Yeah, 2 Dread Knights I'm hoping are going down this turn.
So,
we shall see.
We shall see.
Heretic Astartes turn 2. Okay, what have we done? This turn we focused down the 2 Dread Knights was our main port of call. I managed to get a smite off on one. Oh no, you cancel that. You cancel both my smites actually. Typhus managed to buff up his unit down here though, +1 strength and toughness. I then just started to fire. I fired my plasma guns on overcharge, managed to do all 6 wounds to the Dread Knight that was there, killing it. The guy over there, I did him 2 wounds with my Havocs over here, still taking part in the battle, and then finished them off with the Obliterators. They're only dealing 1 damage and -1 AP, but they were strength 9, and I poured them all in and managed to kill him. The Obliterators and the Chaos Lord have assaulted the Land Raider, which I managed to plonk 4 wounds off with my las cannon from back here, and have locked it up in combat, and the Chaos Lord got another 2 damage through. So it won't be firing next turn, and we wiped out Nick's strike squad in combat with Typhus and his dudes. Down here, my 2 really good flamers are still failing to hurt these sodding great Terminators, but they are failing to hurt me particularly well. So we're just slapfesting down there, and we'll see what happens. But the scores on the doors, I've gained some points. I was on 0, now on 32 to Nick's 19. He needs to pull something out of the bag here.
Grey Knights turn 3, and we're back, baby. We're still slapping away down here. Smite didn't go off, but I've done a couple more wounds in close combat, so it's down to 4 now. I made my 3 saves from the Flamers from the Overwatch.
Yep.
The Razorback picked off the last wound on the Rhino. The Rhino didn't explode, so it did no other damage. The Land Raider moved out of combat, and the Terminators sort of moved up, and we was basically going to charge all the Terminators, my Warlord and the Dreadnought into the Obliterators and Chaos Lord. I didn't need to charge. I had a good psychic phase.
Yeah.
And he did the Vortex, and obviously it went off. And we did killed 1 Obliterator straight away and did 3 wounds to the Chaos Lord. He then smited and killed another Obliterator, and then the Dreadnought did a smite and killed an Obliterator, and the Terminators finished the Chaos Lord off in shooting.
Being a demon did not help versus the Grey Knight smites, just everyone killed an Obliterator, no rolls.
And obviously the Dreadnought tried a couple of shots off at the Demon Prince. 1 hit, but he made his 5-up save.
Don't forget orbital debris.
The orbital debris. I got a 6, and so 1 orbital debris come down, and I managed to take out the 2 Havocs.
Yep, that was pretty strong.
So my scores have gone up to 46 to 32.
Yeah.
So I am a turn ahead, and I am kind of bottled back into this corner. So let's see how Chaos do now.
Chaos turn 3. What happened this turn? So I moved down here and flamed Nick's dudes and managed to kill one with some decent rolling. Yeah. Then I moved these to the extremes of their range, pot-shotted them at them, and did 1 wound, which took out a second one, who I wounded with the flamer. So that was pretty good. 1-on-1, I'm confident-ish about this guy, but Nick still has a demon hammer. Over here, this guy couldn't really see the Land Raider, so he shot over at the Razorback that was over there, managed to get a las cannon hit through, did 6 wounds to it, which was pretty solid. Then these guys here, they fired their plasma and bolt guns over at the Terminators, only killed 1 who was on 1 wound, and I had to use my last reroll to keep alive a plasma. Then they charged the Razorback, lost 1 to the Overwatch from the las cannon, but managed to take it out in combat, which was really good. Typhus managed to keep with them, he got an 11-inch charge. My Demon Prince leapt over, managed to smite the Dreadnought, got one through, did it 3 damage, then charged in, smacked Nick 3 times with my axe, only needed to deal 2 to get through. He had 6 up saves, he made 2 of them annoyingly, and then he had a 5 up save to save himself from my claw, and made that as well on a 6. And then the Dreadnought hit me around the face a bit, but I was good on my saves too. Yeah. So what comes around goes around. So they are locked in combat. And that is about it.
You missed the best part.
Oh yeah, I'll come back to that. My cult is hiding back here. So then I rolled for orbital debris at the start of the turn. So let's imagine, shall we? Orbital debris is stuff like this floating in the air. We've got the right terrain for the game. So I rolled 2 hits of orbital debris. So I thought, Nick's Warlord's over there. So basically what happened was, bam! I hit him with both D3, another 2 6s on those, 6 wounds, he got no saves, taken out. And I get double points for the Warlord. Ooh. So how many is he worth?
It was worth 10, so you've...
I should be on another load. We'll work it out. I'm ahead at the minute, but it's still touch and go because my Warlord is over here, and he's only on 6 wounds now, so who knows where this is going.
Turn 4 for Grey Knights. It didn't go too badly till the end. The Dreadnought basically backed out of combat with the Demon Prince. The Terminators come round, and we smited and then shot the Demon Prince to death.
Yep.
Which left me to charge into the Plague Marines with the Terminators. Typhus did heroic intervention and joined in the fight, and he killed off 3 Terminators himself. And then the Plague Marines finished off the last one. But I did kill a few Plague Marines in return. Passed their leadership, so no more died there, unfortunately. I got 2 orbital. I got the orbital bombardment.
Yeah, you got
one in, and I chose to do it on this thing, thinking I've only got 1 Terminator left down here. I'm going to get fired out completely. I got it down to 1 wound. I tried smiting it, but you've made that, so I had to charge in. I've taken 1 wound and failed to do the last wound to this. Yep. So I believe the combat's going to be that he's going to die in the end.
Because I've got fly keyword, I can back out combat and flame.
But that's basically it. I'm left with 1 Terminator there, a Dreadnought, and a Land Raider here.
Well, I'm slightly ahead on points. How much was your Terminator?
13.
13, so I'm up to 70 and Nick is on 64.
So yeah, so you're slightly ahead. We're going to play your turn and
see how it goes, because I have 1 turn left and then we're...
Yeah, I mean, I might do turn 5. Obviously, it depends. I might see what my orbital debris does.
Yeah,
that could help.
Because you can kill Typhus and get points and stuff.
Yeah, so let's see how your turn 4 goes.
End of Chaos turn 4, and not bad this turn. This guy failed to kill the Terminator, but the cultist stepped in.
No, the cultist didn't kill him.
What killed him?
The missile launcher.
Oh yeah, the missile launcher killed him. Sorry, I forgot.
The cultist missed.
This guy was awesome. He missiled that guy, and the cultist all missed. Over here, we charged at the Land Raider. I killed one of my own guys in shooting with his plasma.
You did 3 damage in smite.
Got into the Land Raider, did 3 damage to smite, 3 damage to Typhus's halberd. Nick failed to hit me back. So the game's more or less over at this point because his Land Raider's locked in combat. So if Nick does get another turn, it just gets to retreat. But Nick is going to roll for his orbital bombardment or orbital debris and see what happens. It's a 6. Where are you putting it, Nick?
That fucker.
This fucker. Okay, how many?
1.
1. Here's a disgustingly resilient on the red dice. He's dead too. Nick's been trying to kill this since turn 1. Go and put this on the dead pile, which is more or less my entire army. Nick's dead pile is more or less his entire army, and we'll call the game there with me victorious, but not by a huge amount.
Well, because obviously those points wouldn't really count for it.
Well, no, they would still count.
Yeah?
Yeah, because you'd have killed it on turn 5.
Points for you?
So he is worth, how many is he worth? Bear with me a sec. He's another 8.
6, 7, 8, so 72.
So it's 72 plays 93, because there's no guarantee I'd kill the Land Raider in the combat, because I only did 3 wounds to it this turn.
I would, if move out of combat, it'll be coming round
exactly.
Here, so you wouldn't be able to
so I wouldn't be able to shoot it at all. So that is end of the game. And that was a really fun game, wasn't it?
That was great.
The destruction on both sides. I quite like the kill point mechanic. Instead of getting 1 point for a unit killed, it's big jump, so it looks like I'm really ahead, but then you killed a couple of my big units and you jumped ahead.
I was really ahead, but you just killed 2 units and overtook me. Because, as we said, Grey Knights are more elite things, so they're worth a lot more.
That's it. And I really liked the random deployment types because never played this before. It was really interesting.
Yeah.
I couldn't deploy everywhere on the board. So I couldn't kind of like get into this building at the start, for instance.
No.
I couldn't
the
start around there.
Debris had so much of an effect on this
real
game.
big effect. Really swung killing your dude there. You did better early game with it, taking out all my havocs, but then killing Voldus was the single biggest thing. Did that was a big swing.
Yeah, that was the biggest thing. If you hadn't killed Voldus and Voldus is still here, I could have had a bit more effect. I might have been able to suffer here.
Exactly.
Would have played out turn 5, and there's a chance I might have.
Yeah, that's it. It was a big swing in that regard.
Yeah.
Other things, because I hid some of my units, so I'm hiding 9 victory points worth just behind there in 4 zombies.
That's basically where auto bombardment I'm going to go. Do I go for the zombies? No point. I'll check out a couple other things.
How did you find the Grey Knights today?
I like the Grey Knights. As I said, the Grey Knights, I chose... We said about Blue and Space Marines to start with, but because there's so much choice in the Space Marine army.
Yeah, it's hard to choose, whereas this, you know what models I've got.
I had such a busy week that I made the army up in about 5 minutes last night. Not long before obviously playing. So that's why I decided for Grey Knights, because I know the army looks smaller. And I like Grey Knights. As I say, it's the Dread Knights. I really like Dread Knights for the army.
They're just lovely and deadly and fast.
Yeah. So, and the fact that he's just deploying loads of Terminators and things. So,
I really enjoyed them. As far as the mixed chaos do, my Demon Prince didn't do as well as I'd hoped, but I kind of... You put your stuff there, and I'd put my Demon Prince over here, and then you just null deployed everything else. Yeah. So I was a bit stuck not being able to assault anything.
I've with Grey Knights, like, that's in Deep Strike, Oh, you're deploying your stuff, right? And that stuff's over there. I'm over here.
That's where the deployment became interesting, because you could deploy there or over there, and I could only deploy kind of centrally. And let you refuse flank quite nicely, which you did. So, as far as table, I think the line of sight blocking really helped.
Yeah, I like the little crates and just the different things. For,
just large, big line of sight blockers. So if I come down here, if you're a model over here, that's a large amount of the table you cannot see. And these things you can move and hide behind. I really think line of sight blockers in the central area of the table are a must now, just because they stop shooting. If this
damage, like things are doing, let's do D6 damage.
Well, if this wasn't here, your entire firebase would have to fire at my entire army.
Yeah.
By but one bit of terrain, it meant you had to move around it. It meant I had to move around it. I could use it for cover.
Yeah.
It just made the game so much more interesting. So I really think anyone who's watching, if you don't have enough terrain on your table, I think this is a good amount of terrain. I think possibly you could have even more on. More terrain, better game.
I think it depends on what terrain you've got.
Yeah.
As well. Where obviously we've got quite a wide mix here of buildings, hills.
I mean, these ones are pretty, but they don't have a huge game effect anymore because +1 to cover. +1 to cover's okay.
Yeah, but
and I used it for my own.
It was you move slowly through.
Yeah,
them, so
and you also got a 5-up or a 4-up save from them.
Yeah.
So yeah, line of sight blocking. I got these on eBay, £8 for all of those.
Yeah.
And £8 for all of those. So £16, and I've got 2 big bits of terrain that I can set up anywhere.
I like how I foresaw ages ago that not having windows in buildings was a worthwhile.
Yeah, it was the right pain in the arse me to build them.
All the complaining that was always done about, I can't see through this building.
Yeah, and now it's really useful. Yeah, I really like. I've had to kind of like I've glued plastic art on the inside of mine and painted it so it looks like they've kind of like welded metal over the windows. It's quite like. And I think this one I put some wooden struts over there and painted them brown, so you might be able to see if I come around the back. So it's a really easy way of making line of sight blocking on some terrain you already have. Just block out the windows. I use sprues on that. Really nice and simple. Okay, we've got to pack up now because I've got to go out very shortly. So we'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.
Bye.